Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories. This one is called Eating Out Alone. I made progress today. You see, my research project is to identify the genetic basis of altruism. Of course, that'll take years, if not decades, but today I eliminated 2 blind alleys. In basic research, that's progress. So I thought I'd reward myself by taking myself out to dinner. I can afford a nice place, but I don't like getting ripped off, so I decided among a hole-in-the-wall Thai place, a run-down but delicious Indian, and a diner. Because I wasn't sure what I wanted to eat, I chose a diner, lots of choices. Which diner? I chose the one that's good, but is pretty empty. The food is a little better at another diner, but if they attached a pleasure meter to my brain, the difference would be small. But the difference between quiet and loud? Big, much happier when it's quiet. The waitress, who also was the hostess, her face suggested fatigue, not just with the day, but with her life. She murmured, "Sit wherever." Where to sit? I like quiet, but also a bit of people watching. The place was almost empty, but there was an interesting-looking couple. They looked like they'd been married a long time. They weren't talking, just eating. I decided to sit just far enough from them that my peeks at them might not be noticed. The waitress followed me to where I wanted to sit, put the menu down and said, "Something to drink?" I don't like alcohol. It tastes yucky to me and has too many calories for too little relaxation. Just water. I'm sorry. Why do I need to apologize? But I do. I guess I feel bad the diner is empty, and then if I don't order big, her tip's going to be smaller. I'm overthinking. I always overthink. It's key to my success, but also to my inability to relax. I looked at the menu and was faced with my perennial gustatory dilemma. What would taste best would be a burger and fries, but moment on the lips, lifetime on the hips, so I forced my eyes from the menu's burger section. But I really don't like fish, except deep-fried fish and chips, and that's no help. I looked at the salad section and said, "No, it's virtuous, but I really don't like most salads. Besides, I can make my ideal salad at home." Something breakfasty, even though it's dinner? I do love French toast, but all those carbs. And I would feel a little embarrassed ordering breakfast food at 8 p.m. So I went back to the burger section and I compromised. Turkey burger with sweet potato fries. I forced myself to slow down and enjoy every bite instead of, as usual, thinking, reading, or writing while I'm eating. Why do I care about being in the moment even when eating? Not just to have more pleasure in eating, but to create a memory. How much of life is memory? A reasonable amount, I guess. No, the turkey burger nor the sweet potato fries, even with ketchup, weren't great, but they were good enough. I will remember, though, this nice is the right word, sometimes it is, this nice dinner. It'll make me feel good. Not enough does. I remembered my bargain with myself. I'll save some calories when I'm no longer hungry and feel good about myself and the meal if I leave just 2 bites on the plate. I did. At that moment of resolve, I poured pepper on the half-dozen remaining fries and pushed the plate away. All right, at that point I had some time to muse. What do I want to think about? My next day's genetics experiment? Who I'd like to ask to come out with me to the next dinner? Maybe something just a bit more upscale. Maybe that nicer Indian place? Actually, I think, Ned, I prefer going out myself. Hey, maybe now I have a few minutes to check my email. I actually like doing that, and if I were the date, it would be impolite. The waitress, although she had little to do, only finally came over, picked up my peppered plate and asked, "Dessert?" Just the minimum number of words, as though each additional one would tire her out more. Again, I compromised. I'll have the bread pudding, whipped cream on the side, and I promised myself I would take home half. That way I would get 2 first bites, when the best first bites are the best. Of course, I should have predicted I wouldn't have the discipline to leave half, but I did leave a third. That's better than usual. Every so often, I had peeked at the couple. They must have said no more than a few sentences the entire time. If I ever get married, am I going to end up like that? Now I was done, and somehow, even though the place was nearly empty, I felt I should leave, like I'd be freeloading if they won't get any more money from me. I gave myself just an extra minute to breathe and ask myself to think of something, anything. And all I could think of was the to-dos when I leave, so I left. But now, as I write this, I have another thought. I suppose that eating out is a poor use of money. After all, after that hour, you have nothing to show for it. On the other hand, the same could be said about watching a movie or listening to music. maybe more even than permanent stuff like some nice art object, those hours of eating are worth it. For me at least, greater pleasure in toto than the beautiful vase that quickly blended into the woodwork. I think I'm going to take myself out to eat more often. Anyway, that story is called Eating Out Alone. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and certainly would welcome you checking out any of my 30 books. They're maybe most relevant to this would be, I don't know, maybe Light, short stories about life's brighter side. But, you can check out all 30 on Amazon. Just go there and search on my name, Marty Nemko, Nemko, and you will find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.